What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the World Cup Road to Glory. That is right, today we are back on the WCRTG. That rhymes. Let's drop a thumbs up on this video if you wouldn't mind, dudes. I appreciate the support. Very well received moving this over to the second channel, and probably until the World Cup starts I probably won't be doing much on regular FIFA Ultimate Team. And the reason why I say until the World Cup starts is because I'm hopeful that when the World Cup starts, both game modes will become extremely engaging or more engaging, because with this one, with the World Cup Road to Glory, of course, the players have dynamic upgrades, and that should just change things and be positive influence anyway. And on the regular Road to Glory, I'm hoping EA do something like Team of the Season with daily knockout tournament for Iron Man of the matches or something like that. There should just be daily things with team of the match day, team of the group stage, etc, etc. So I'm hoping both things will change. But in the meantime, for right now, personally for me, regular FUT, I just have no interest in playing it right now. I played one weekend league game, and that was it, man. That was it. I don't know. It finished early for me this year, or rather, in the meantime. For right now, I'm just not engaged with it at all. I need something to draw me back in, and right now there's nothing to draw me back in. Lots of comments from the last video. The first one is from The Gamer Burns. Says, I think that this SBC made the mode boring because you're just going to see teams and an all-icon team, like what you see on the screen right now. I know it's a good feeling to play with an icon, but when you get to play against too many players with it, it just makes it boring. I think we've got a massive icons right now. I don't think people are going to continue to play with all of these icons again, because everyone in this game is dynamic. It's of my opinion that when, for example, and the way EA have stated that players are going to get upgraded is, it's not going to be just one player from each game. Sure, there will probably be a man of the match in terms of FIFA regular Ultimate Team reference, but EA stated that there will be, like, if a team has a good performance, multiple players will get upgraded. So, for example, if Germany keep a clean sheet, potentially the goalkeeper and all the defenders will get upgraded. So, for example, when Jerome Boateng gets upgraded once, twice, maybe 3 times, he will now be prioritised over any icon centre-back. And when, say, James Rodriguez gets upgraded once, twice, 3 times, other than probably Maradona, maybe Pele, maybe Ronaldinho, he will be a better card to use and a more fun card to use than Okocha, than Deco, than Rui Costa. And so you'll actually start to see more and more regular World Cup players come back into people's teams as they get upgraded throughout the World Cup. And I'm excited for that. And I think what EA did with this game mode, I think you can look at it from 2 avenues. The first avenue you can look at it from is this. Number one, they gave people what they wanted. They said, hey, you want everything easily? Here it is. And look at what people are saying. They're saying it's boring, it's not fun to play, it's too easy. And yet, on the contrary, when we talk about regular FIFA Ultimate Team, people are like, it's too hard, you can't get the best players, it's not fun. And so, you know, maybe on the one hand they have that, but on the other hand, EA might have done it like this to test for FIFA 19, how you know, giving too much too quick, how it impacts the usability and the player base. Because although the hardcore users might be saying, oh, this is boring, there's too many people with good teams, or, you know, whatever, if they see an increase in players because everyone's able to get everything quite early and quite quickly and quite easily, maybe it'll impact the rewards next year, or at least how we're able to achieve teams next year, because they might say, hey, you know, regular FUT has a linear kind of like a return of players that negatively declines over the year. It starts off big, negatively declines generally with a few spikes for Team of the Year, Team of the Season and promos, but generally the amount of people that play the game goes like this. But with World Cup mode, it might have been that it spikes and then it just stays because everyone's playing because they're loving with their teams. So it'd be interesting to see if this impacts anything next year at all, basically. That, in my opinion anyway. Bones Repic says EA should release new icons and new special cards within the game mode. Maybe with that card design that has the crowns in the background, as well as having dynamic players throughout the actual World Cup. Well, the players are all dynamic. In terms of new players, what I would love to see is maybe like throwback World Cup cards. Not icons, but players that are already in here re-released. So, who had a good one? Like a James Rodriguez. Remember last World Cup when he like announced himself to the world after a great season in France? He went to the World Cup and he dominated. Give us like a throwback 94 rated James Rodriguez as an SBC only. Can't get him in packs or anything like that. And he's not dynamic either. He won't go up and down, but just give us that. That would be amazing. Throwback World Cup cards, position change cards. So, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo is currently a striker, yet he's played left wing for Portugal back in a previous World Cup. Give him a left wing card as a SBC only. You know, that sort of stuff will be a bit fun, you know, and I think that's what this game mode is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be fun. Noah van der Tocht says, "Hi Nep, you can move Maradona up to the striker position instead of Lacazette, and then put a Kotra at Cam. Love your vids." Well, I wouldn't play Maradona at striker. I think he's too small, too weak, and has a 3-star weak for only. However, I wouldn't be opposed to putting a Kotra up front because he's 4-star, 5-star, and that'd be pretty fun. And we also had Hamza CH says, "Hey Nep, I think if you have enough position changes, you can use a Kotra at striker, as he would give Jesus better chem and also get full links. And I don't need to pack the position changes. I can buy position changes, right? Obviously, the markets interact with each other for consumables from regular FUT. So I can go to regular FUT, buy chem styles, buy consumables, buy contracts, buy fitness. I just don't need to buy contracts and fitness right now. And because I'm mainly only running the World Cup group stage, I don't even really need to buy position changes and stuff because, as you can see, I'm coming up against insane icon teams and I'm still just destroying them time and time and time again. So I'm just having fun, just grinding with the team that I've got, playing with who I've got available to me and doing what I can with what I've got. However, I will eventually, you know, turn that into a proper team with proper chem styles, proper positions, etc., etc. Purple says, "Nep, what's your opinion on the Champions League in FIFA?" I'm excited, dude. What I'm really excited about is that the pre-order bonus that was like thrown out there indicates two things. First of all, it indicates that we're going to have a Champions League style mode within FUT because there are, as a pre-order bonus, you get a Champions League players pack, which is great. And number two, the Champions League player pack seems to indicate that it's going to be the same as the Madden like draft pack. So what will happen is 5 players will pop up in front of you like in a draft and you get to pick one of them. So that already indicates 2 pretty cool changes that could be coming to Ultimate Team. Of course, I could just be reading between the lines and getting it completely wrong. And if that's the case, then so be it. But straight off the bat, those 2 things look very, very good. The King says, "I believe you are wrong. Your team is good enough, especially depending on your level." Yeah, my team's good enough to win the World Cup. The problem is that if I don't win the World Cup, it's time wasted. You know, if instead, by the way, you'll see why, like, I just wanted to give context as to why I started shushing this guy. After this guy went 1-0 up, he started watching the replay, cutscenes and animations of everything. Every single thing all the time, and it was very frustrating. So when I obviously equalised and then took the lead, like the problem is if I play, I can actually play and win only one of 3 group stage games and get a 7.5k pack and 1,500 coins. Or I can win 2 and forfeit the 3rd, or I can just go and win all 3. And because I get so many rage quits, it only takes me like 20 minutes. I actually streamed, which I stream on Facebook, check link down below, on the Road to Glory World Cup, the other one, which is what I've been streaming for. So if you want to see me play on that a little bit more, I've got a lot of icons in there, it's really cool. I completed the group stage 3 times in under an hour. Right, so 3 times in under an hour to complete the group stage. So in under an hour, I got 3 7.5k packs, 9 player packs and 4.5k coins in under an hour, and it was great. It was just a lot of fun doing it. If I'd pursued on to the World Cup final, you don't get as many rage quits in those stages, in my experience from when I've gone through to those stages. But even so, even if you do get rage quits, you have to win the final, otherwise it was time wasted for those 4 games. You know, we spoke about it before in detail. I really hope EA consider just changing the reward structure so that even at the very worst, you just get a 5k pack for losing in any round. So, you know, you win the round, you get a 1-player pack. If you lose in the first round, second round, or third round, or final, you also get a 5k pack. Just so then at least you come out knowing, hey, I'm at least going to get something for my troubles here. Mr. Pedro Head says, "Nep, here's a talking point for you if you see it. Yesterday, I came up against a guy in the semis. The game loaded, and 2 minutes into the game, there was a disconnect. He messaged me because I thought I'd done the glitch. The strange thing is, we discovered he was actually in the final. So the game matched me up with somebody who was in the final when I was in the semis. And I asked for this before, and I didn't get any conclusive evidence. And it seems to be a lot of cases like this, But what I would love for you guys is to show me proof of this happening. I really want to know if it's seeded in any way, shape or form. So if you're in this quarterfinal, are you playing against someone in the knockouts or in the groups? If you're in the groups, are you playing against someone in their first game, if you're in your first game, or in their third game, if you're in your first game? If you're in the quarterfinals, are you playing against someone that's in final? Like, I really, really want to know if it's seeded. But what I need you guys to do is show me the proof of the round that you were in and the screenshot of the conversation where your opponent said the round that he was in. Now, of course, then we're taking it upon ourselves to believe that our opponent that we message is telling the truth. But because they don't know about this experiment, they have no reason to lie. I basically just want to get some proof and some evidence. Because for me, I've been in the final 3 times now. I've won it twice and I lost it once. And 2 of the 3 times that I was in the final, I came up against good teams with stat cards. And I don't see any reason to put stat cards on any round other than the final, personally. Ludek21 says, thoughts on the EA portion, the FIFA portion of EA Play Nep? I already covered that. I didn't realize I brought it up 2 times. And then Karen Foster says, hey Nep, was wondering how do you get good at this game? Hope your family's well. Keep up with the good work. Well, thank you very much. From my personal opinion, there's 2 ways to get good at this game. One is natural skill and one is acquired ability. What natural skill is something that you will have that will help you with decision making, with reactions, and just your playability on the game. Some people are just naturally good at FIFA, right? And if you're not naturally good at FIFA, which to a degree I'm not, right? I don't have natural ability at this game. I've had to work really hard to kind of acquire my ability, which is what acquired ability is. If you need acquired ability, to get acquired ability, you've got to learn the game inside out. So one of the ways, you've got to find an edge that you wouldn't normally have. So one of those sort of things would be understanding chem styles and how they work and why they work. Understanding what formations counter other formations. Understanding what like stats of a player are really relevant and what are irrelevant. Something that I would say would be acquired ability would just be learning how to use contain, because I know like Skills does so well in Weekend League, Top 100 weekly and monthly very often, and he tells me all the time, he says, I don't even defend, I just contain. He just lets the AI do it. He just holds the contain button and lets the AI do all the work for him. And for me, I need to acquire that ability because I'm not naturally gifted enough to defend well, and I'm so set in my ways from old FIFAs that I use second man press and try and manually defend, and it ends up costing me. So in order to get better at this game, or in order to how to get good at this game, if you like, some people have a good mix of natural ability and acquired ability. Some people excel in one and not in another, and all of it combined makes you a good player. And the only way to either pursue that, and you do need both as well. There's no point being naturally gifted at video games. Like if you're naturally gifted, if you just got that really good decision making, really good reactions, if you're like your kind of choices under pressure and the way you handle pressure situations is also very good, there's no point having all those if you don't understand the game anyway, right? You have to have some degree of knowledge of the game, and you get all of it and you learn all of it just by practicing and by learning from your mistakes. I see so many times, so many people say, oh, I was 2-0 up and then the game just decided to let this guy win. The game never decides to just let someone win. Yes, there is RNG in this game, but the game never sits there and says, oh, you're 2-0 up? Well, we didn't want you to win this game, so we're just going to get this guy the win here. It's not that. It doesn't happen, right? And that's another debate for another day, I'm sure, but that doesn't happen. What happens is that when somebody goes 2-0 up or 2-0 down, somebody makes changes and the other person doesn't adapt to those changes. So if I go 2-0 down, I'll all of a sudden start playing attacking, I might change formation. Maybe it takes me a few minutes to understand the way my opponent is defending or the way he is attacking, and then I can adapt and change my gameplay on the fly right there. And people are like, oh, he's doing something. And so in that sense, when people don't change something, learn from that mistake. Next time you're 2-0 up and you feel the pattern of play changing, change something, adapt to it. Change your formation, change your personnel, change your tactics, change the way you maneuver the ball, hold the ball a bit more, or just punt the ball out to reset the play. And you've got to learn from your mistakes. There's no point just complaining about it going wrong and then not learning and then having the same thing happen the next game, which is what I did for so long during FIFA 13, 14 and 15, and then during FIFA 16 I decided to take it upon myself to really learn what I was doing wrong, and I got better as a player for it, and I'm a better player today than I've ever been. This is even though I don't get top 100 or anything like that, or unless it's squad battles, in which way I'm top 100, yeah, I feel like I'm a better player than I've ever been. And that comes from just learning from my mistakes and growing as a player. This, though, guys, is going to be the end of the video for today. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.